My name is Bhakti Madhurya Govinda Goswami Maharaj. I'm one of the original 150 disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. I took my initiation in 1968, around almost 50 years ago. I established one of the first university preaching programs in the world at the University of California, not University of California, but University of San Francisco, in San Francisco, California. And I had been a student at the University of California in Berkeley, across the bay from San Francisco. I also sponsored one of the first traveling Sankirtan parties, book distribution parties in the world that went across Canada. So, why did I take up Krishna consciousness? I was amongst the thousands of young people in America who were seekers for deeper meaning in life. They saw that their parents were divorced. They saw even though their parents had nice houses in the suburbs, means the outlining affluent areas of the city, 2 cars, and maybe even a swimming pool. But the young people saw that their parents were not happy. They rejected that lifestyle. Now, I didn't come from that kind of cosmopolitan background, but still I was a seeker. I was a seeker. I was looking for meaning in life. In fact, I took a university course. I signed up for a university course in psychology. The first day in the class, the professor, man, he must have been 55 years old, very, a little burned out, you know. There was 150 students in the classroom, auditorium. And he stood up and said, "Don't expect to analyze yourself as a result of taking this class." So then I was a non-devotee. I was a student. I didn't even believe in God particularly. I was agnostic, it's called. When he said, "Don't expect to analyze yourself as a result of taking this course," then I was tipped off by what's known as Super Soul, Krishna within the heart, then what is the point? What is the point if you can't learn about yourself? What is the point? So actually, I had no background in philosophy, no background in religion. I was not, in fact, I was irreligious. But when he said, "Don't expect to analyze yourself," I immediately thought, this is absurd. You know, I was angry, actually. I thought, it's useless, useless. If I can't learn about myself, it's useless. So I marched straight down to the administration office and I quit the course. If I cannot learn about myself, it is useless. Krishna tipped me off within the heart on that point. So then I went to the proverbial Haight-Ashbury district of San Francisco. The young people, of course, were growing long hair and keeping girlfriends, all these kind of things. So I moved to that area and I took up that culture along with hundreds of other hippies, they were called, that Srila Prabhupada used to say, hippies are our best customers. So I was in that crowd. Tamal Krishna Maharaj was in that group. Vishnu Jha was at one time a famous singer in ISKCON, was a sannyasi at one point. He was also from that category, and others were from that category. So I was a seeker, and when I came in contact with Maha Mantra, I was immediately attracted. I was already a vegetarian, and I was seeking spiritual values. And this way, I found a friend of mine was a devotee, amongst the first disciples of Srila Prabhupada, Upendra Prabhu, who became Prabhupada's personal servant and secretary. He was a personal friend of mine as a non-devotee, and he invited me, "Please come meet the Swami and come to the temple," but I was too covered over in the beginning. I said, yeah, okay. And then finally when I came to the temple, Srila Prabhupada, who was known as Swamiji in those days, he had moved on to some other place. But Vietnam War was going on, and there was a ministerial deferment That is, if you were a minister, you could be spared from joining the army. So I thought moving into ashram looked really good. Plus, there are 4 reasons given in the Bhagavad Gita why somebody becomes a devotee. And search of knowledge, I was in search of knowledge. So you can put a check mark on that. Next, in distress, I was certainly in distress. You know, I needed money, I was certainly in need of money. And curiosity. These 4 reasons are given by Lord Shri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita why someone approaches him. So I approached spiritual life for all 4 reasons, and I consider Upendra Prabhu to be my Varpa Pradakshina Guru, or first person to introduce me to Krishna consciousness, and then I became hooked on Krishna Prasadam, Kirtan, and I was able to see the value in this way.